What is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome back to another post-commentary feature match. Finally back with post-commentary. We got some Burning Abyss Phantom Knights versus rank 10 Shaddoll Trains. Pretty interesting matchup. This was from a while ago, before I made some changes to my build, but nonetheless, still a good enough video to bring to you guys, so here it is. I know in the past couple of days I've been giving you guys some full-length matches just without commentary and just the raw audio, and I think you guys have been enjoying that, so I hope you have been. If you have, let me know, and if you want to see more of those in the future, just post something down in the comments and give me a heads up, because I'll be glad to do so. But anyways, without further ado, we have, like I said, Shaddoll Trains versus Phantom Knight Burning Abyss. You saw turn one there, that Veiler on that auto top, shutting his play down pretty much completely, and then you see a skill drain on the Dante, really sealing things up as far as taking advantage of this duel goes. That number 81 doing so much work, and one thing I found out about Shaddoll Trains, I've actually been playing them a whole bunch more. Whenever I get the chance to play, I've kind of put Mermails to the side because I know that deck pretty well. I'm pretty confident in my ability to play it, and I wanted to sort of test the waters, no pun intended, with Shaddoll Trains, and just kind of feel the deck and get a feel for it, I guess, and see how it plays out against all these other decks. And I want to be able to learn the ins and outs of the play style and how the deck works best. Just how you should play it and certain ratios of what cards work best, and just how well the deck does going first, how well the deck does going second, what its best and worst matchups are. And I found that, as you'll see here, this may or may not be the best example of that, but from my past knowledge over the past few weeks, Shaddoll Trains has an extremely good matchup against Burning Abyss. Phantom Knight Burning Abyss, whatever you want to call it. Especially if you're going first, you give yourself a huge advantage. If you have to go second, you do have a card like, Shaddoll Fusion that just gives you such a huge boost. It gets you so far ahead. It's not even fair in most cases, but like if you can go first against BA and you're able to make a number 81 first turn with a Winda, you pretty much auto win that game with any set backer. Like GG, like you just automatically lose to Trains because the monsters are too big to get over. The detach to make things ineffective is basically sort of a Felgran is too good. The Derek Crane pop is devastating in most cases, and the way the deck, if you set it up right, you get yourself a search, 2 searches I would say every turn because of that field spell and that Ruffian Rail card you see right there. Now I have a pretty established board. Like I said, the field cell, pretty much completing it. Ditched Malefic Cyber in there, which I'm no longer playing because it is a bricky card, and it's just not that good in the deck. I was playing, I think at this point, as a one-of, but it's just not as good. You'll see the Night Express Knight coming down, and in the Derek Crane, being one of the most iconic combos the deck has, especially with Skill Drain, makes the play even better. If Skill Drain was at 3, I would definitely think Shaddoll Trains would be one of the top, more recognized decks, just because, and I guess Cliffort would be too, but that's besides the point. I'm saying this deck would definitely have a much better chance on the meta stage. Now, I did not burn him for 2,000 there. I simply went into the Dreadnought Rail Cannon to just get a beater on board without wasting a number 81 because Skill Drain. I just wanted to get something I could attach a Derek Crane from to pop his monster, to be able to swing in for a game, or pop the Fog Blade nonetheless to be able to swing in for a game, as I did there. But yeah, kind of wrap up what I was saying about the Shaddoll Trains in general. I think it's a great deck. I think one of its hardest matchups, though, to sort of finish my thought, is against Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is a very hard matchup, because they're able to put out beaters, and that's the one thing you lose to, is when a deck can put out beaters. And another thing I've noticed, if you watch the live stream that I posted on here, the VOD from that, the VOD, you'll see I was testing Trains against ABC, and that is also a very easy matchup as well, because 1, Winda is a card, and 2, they have a really hard time dealing with number 81 going first. Because, one, the monster has too much attack or too much defense. And if they go to banish it, you just detach Derek Crane or Night Express if you want, force the tag out, and then left with little pieces that can't do anything, like virtually anything at all against your number 81. So you proceed to win from there, and you just outgrind a lot of decks, especially with Exodius. But you see he's going to go here. First turn, double Dante. Thanks to the auto top engine, and you see got a Farfa under that other Dante there. Somebody out of Skarm. A pretty BONKERS first turn, if I would say myself. Searching a Fog Blade off that Boots. I think a Cloaky is also used as well. There's a Terraforming. Going to grab probably the most pivotal card in the entire deck. Both of its effects are absolutely amazing. Like, I found myself so many times where the field spell has just outright won me the game. I have a new Shaddoll Train deck profile that I'm probably going to record right after this. And I'll be able to explain to you guys more in depth of just some of the in-depth combos there are, and not really in-depth, but detailed combos, and just one experience I had with just the field spell just outright winning me a game. And I'll tell you guys that, like I said, when we get to the deck profile. But you see, I'm able to make this the best play your deck can make as far as just your normal summon goes. It's just made much easier through the field spell because you can discard anything, grab yourself Derek Crane, and I don't know what it is. I always seem to draw into Night Express Knight, and I've always had times where I end phase search Night Express Knight and then just top deck a Derek Crane. It's like the most beautiful thing on the planet. You'll see he detaches Farfa there, and I detach Derek Crane and I get rid of a Dante. Not really worried because he could float, but again, that isn't really affecting my field too much. I'm still pretty much controlling the board. But the field spell, like, you discard, you get a search, now you can make your rank 10 play, or you summon a Night Express Knight, you summon a rail car, now you have access to a 3200 beat stick that can get over anything, and you don't really care if you're not doing any battle damage. That's the one thing you really don't care about. And then you detach, if need be, get an end phase search. And that's the one thing you want to be doing is Ruffian Railcar every end phase, using your field spell to search every main phase or whenever it is, just to keep advantage up, because that's the only way the deck's really going to be able to keep pace unless you're getting a lot of draw power, which is why Triple Alert is such a major key in the deck. You'll see now he's got Cloak, Graph, and double Dante. Special summoning Silent Boots. And I don't know if that Graph was summoned off Libic. I hope it was. Otherwise, it shouldn't be there. Either way, you could still could have made a rank 3 with that Boots, because he had the Cloak on field anyways. Summoned out by Fogblade. I'm able to Chalice the Leviator, which is a pretty decent play because now he cannot make an additional rank 3 on top of that like he would have been able to. But Beatrice is there. Beat Rice is there, so that's gonna suck a lot. Call the Haunted, coming in really clutch to summon out Derek Crane end phase. Now, one thing I don't know is that if the field spell applies during either player's turn, I don't think it does, because it doesn't specify during the player's turn. It just says strictly when a level 10 Earth machine type is normal or special, you can special summon basically Ruffian Railcar from your deck as a level 10. I don't know if it counts during end phase. If it does, cool. Let me know if you guys have any insight on that. That'd be pretty cool. But you see, my field right now is stacked, pretty heavy. But I know he has Fog Blades. At least I think in this game he definitely has Fog Blades, and I got to deal with Beatrice, which isn't too big of a deal because, like I said, number 81 is just absolutely ridiculous. And I'm gonna go into the spider play, going all in. Arguably, I didn't need to use the, I think it's Ravenous Tarantula, or it might be Pain Gainer, the middle spider there, because you can just go 77 sins, not 77, number 77, 7 sins, right off the top of the Ravenous Tarantula. So I go to swing over that Leviair, and he's going to start summon off Graph. Whatever he summons will die. There's Seer. Seer, I think, floats for Dante. Yep. All 3 Dantes in view. And there's the Fog Blade. I chain to target himself. Derek Crane to pop. And he has another Fog Blade, so doesn't really matter. And I don't want to end up attacking anything because I want to be able to get off 7 Sins effect, because I don't want him. If I attack, he's just going to gain so much advantage. He's going to be able to get a purple Dante, add back at least 2 cards off Dante, and I'm making the gamble. Whether or not this was the best play, looking back, I don't think it was. It's really hard to tell because this was, I think, maybe a week or 2 ago that this was recorded. But you know, it may or may not have been the best play. Looking back, I think it was the greedy play, and the greedy play is not always the best play because, like, here's Fog Blade, and Fog Blade is about to sort of mess my day up, because the one issue, you know, I guess it's also partially my fault, is because I wasn't thinking at the time that Fog Blade was even a thing, or Farfa nonetheless, because with Fog Blade, if he popped Fog Blade himself, he could just summon Dark Volcanic Siege Dragon and steal 2,000 attack, being able to beat over it no problem, and 7 Sins only detaches from destroyed by battle or card effect, I think. Or just card effect. I think it attaches 2. But regardless, end phase, I search off Railcar, grab Night Express Knight, one piece of the puzzle, and I think I top deck Derek Crane. See what I mean? Like, it's absolutely nuts how I just top deck this stuff all the time. But on summon, he has Beatrice effect for Farfa, of course, to kind of foil my plans. And I don't have skill drain, so I can't do too much with that Night Express Knight. And as you'll see there, I'm kind of left with the option, you know, I need to get rid of Break Sword, and I need to get, you know, Beatrice isn't really a threat right now, so I don't need to get rid of it. And I think that's a Graph under that Dante. It might not be, but it's a super rare, so I'm assuming it's Graph. It could be Skarm. Skarm is also super rare. The rest are either rare or gold. Gloves underneath that one, giving it 1,000 attack boost. Either way, I can get over it, but I only got 1 monster in attack position. And I attack over the Dante. I don't know why. Looking back, I really don't know why I wouldn't have attacked over the Fog Blade. Because the Fog Blade, leaving that there, is just going to allow him to pop itself and anything on my field. He goes for the 4,000 defense. Yeah, looking back, that was definitely a misplay. And now you guys don't have to tell me in the comments, but somebody still will probably, which is fine. Yeah, I definitely should get rid of the Fog Blade because I might have not just been thinking about it at the moment. Like, oh, he just makes that next turn and practically wins because he's going to swing for a lot of damage. Especially since I have a zero attack Night Express Knight, and add insult to injury. There is Libic for Farfa, clearing pretty much most of my field right there. And with the field spell, I can easily right now have access to a rank 10, but it does not matter because if I go to attack, if I go to get rid of Beatrice, he can gain advantage off that. I can't beat over the what is it called? The Dark Exceeds, but I guess I could have detached Derek Crane, right? I don't know. Maybe I just felt like it was not worth playing, or maybe I was out of Night Express nights. Maybe that was the case, because I don't think normally I would have scooped in that situation, but oh well. Anyways, here he's got a double Dante thanks to the auto top engine opening it up pretty much every single freaking game. I'm over there. That is when I just got my super rare Moray grade, switching out those ugly commons for those super rares. Got to take care of the priorities first, then we get back to the duel. Opening up really strong, discarding Seer for Beat Rice. Summoning Graph. They both die. I think he might have not have realized that was the case. And rank up into Pleiades. So this is why you never really want to let BA go first, and especially when playing Shaddoll Trains, I found most pivotal that you definitely want to go first, and you're guaranteeing yourself most, more often than not, the win, because you can just set up a much powerful board that they have a hard time dealing with. And just playing through Beatrice, Pleiades in general, no matter what you're playing, is always difficult, because right now, if he wanted to screw over my plays, he could just, on even summon of the Night Express Knight, just bounce back the Night Express Knight, and I lose from there. But he bounces back Derek Crane, and now I have a 0 attack, level 10 on my field that's not doing anything. So, kind of left dead in the water here. Discard for the field spell. Ends up hitting my field spell on Call of the Haunted, and I just lose so much advantage off that. I end up scooping. And that'll end up being that. Hope you guys enjoyed BA taking the match 2-1. Leave a like if you did. And right now I'm going to talk about a quick couple of announcements I want to get across. So if you want to stick around for a little bit longer, that'd be greatly appreciated. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. And at 3,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing a Q&A. So start thinking about some questions you want to ask me, or anything in general, really. And also, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a booster box set of the Dark Illusion. Full unopened box, 24 packs in all. So if you want to enter in that, be looking forward to an announcement video when we hit 3K subs. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. It's absolutely amazing. Like I said, let me know if you want to see more duels without commentary, and be looking forward to some Mermail deck profiles, some Shaddoll Train deck profiles, some Blue Eyes. We got probably maybe another PK deck profile coming in the future, I'm not sure, and probably a Cyber Angel deck profile maybe sometime in the future. However, no guarantees though. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, if you did, leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. And as always, guys, winner kills, signing out. We'll see ya in the next one.